Hey everyone, Mike here from BlenderSmoothies.com, and today we're doing a video on the Vitamix 750 Professional Series and the Blendtec Designer Series. Now these are two of the best blenders on the market. They're from the best blender companies in the world. These are the flagship models right now, and it's really hard to decide between the two. I know you're doing your research and there's a lot of information out there. Let me just make it easy for you up front. These two blenders are really good blenders and they're going to do really well in your kitchen. If you're looking for a high-end blender, you're looking to invest in something that's going to do all the things you've been reading about, making smoothies, making ice cream, nut butter, nut milks, making hot soup right out of the blender, making sauces, making dips, all those things, both these blenders are going to do really well. So have no fear, you're not going to make a wrong decision. But what I hope to show you today is not to convince you to get the Vitamix over the Blendtec, one or the other. I just want to talk about what the Vitamix 750 is and does, and same thing with the Blendtec, what the Blendtec Designer Series is and does. We're going to make a green smoothie, and maybe you'll pick up on some things that you like or don't like, or have some questions to get answered. They'll help you decide which one is the best for you and your family, and which one's the best for your kitchen. So first we're going to start out just talking about a little bit of the nuts and bolts of the two blenders. We're not going to get too far into technical details. If you're really interested in that and really want to know all the specs, you can go to our website. We've got a blender comparison tool where you can compare the 750 against the Designer Series or any other Vitamix blender or Blendtec blender side by side. You'll see all the specs. It's a really good resource if you're into this kind of thing. So we're just going to touch on some of the highlights of how it functions and some of the obvious differences, and then we'll go ahead and make our smoothie and go from there. All right. The first thing we'll talk about are the color options. The Vitamix here, the Designer 750, comes in a brushed stainless steel. My wife and I really like the look of this Vitamix 750. This is the one that we use every day. It's in our kitchen. It just looks really nice. It's almost the focal point of our kitchen. I have an espresso machine that I like, so that's kind of my focal point in the kitchen. But anyway, this looks really good on the countertop. It's got a nice backlit display, as you can see as I turn it off there. That's what it looks like when it's off, and when it's on or ready for use. It's got this nice glowing display. It gives it a really nice polished high-end look. It's the only option available is the brushed stainless in the 750, but it's a good choice. We really like it. I can't imagine buying it and getting it in a different color. The Blendtec Designer Series comes in a few different color options. You have this black finish here. It's a very nice molded, sleek looking black finish. You also can get it in white, red, or a champagne metallic finish. This also has an LED display. It's a touch panel. It's really sharp looking. Again, very high-end looking appliance. It's going to look really good in your kitchen. Both these blenders are going to look really good in your kitchen. There's no doubt about it. A lot was invested in design, and it shows. The next thing we'll talk about are the containers. These are both patented containers. A lot of engineering and thought has gone into the Vitamix and the Blendtec container. It's part of what makes these two blenders some of the best blenders on the market. It's part of what makes them be able to take a whole piece of fruit and blend it down into a liquid form that's very smooth and drinkable. They're both BPA free, so that's great. And they're both quite large, large enough for my wife and I to do everything we need to in these containers. The Vitamix container is 64 ounces, and the Blendtec container can hold up to 90 ounces. It's marked up to 36 on the sides. The Vitamix is marked up to 64. One thing about the markings that you'll see is that the Blendtec, it's marked in a way that it's very easy to read. The Vitamix, it's readable, but it's just etched in there. It's not darkened or made to contrast in any way. Just a minor thing. These containers are both very solid, sturdy plastics. They feel good in the hand. You know, the weight, the balance feels good. They fit securely on the base. The containers both have a pour spout. The Blendtec has 3 sides that you can pour out. They're tapered so that you can pour easily. And the Vitamix has a spout in the front that you can pour out of. Now, I will say that in using the Vitamix, it's hard to get it out, everything out sometimes. When we make a smoothie, you'll see what I mean. So they do have a spatula on their site you can buy. I thought it was kind of silly the first time I saw it, but once I started using it, I saw the value in it, and it's a good thing to have. It doesn't cost a lot, and you won't feel like you're washing smoothie down the sink every time you clean out your container. I will show you, this is the Vitamix 5200 container. This is the older model. This is the next generation model. It's much wider. It's shorter. You can see compared to the 5200 container, the height difference. They're both 4-bladed containers, but what this does is it enables you to put the Vitamix under your counter. With the 5200, if you have a standard size counter, cabinet counter space, most likely this isn't going to fit in there. You're going to have to set this to the side or put it in a cupboard or something like that. With the 750, it slides under most counters, under most cabinets pretty easily. You may not be able to take the lid off and operate it, but you can store it under the cabinet with the container on top. Same with the Blendtec, should fit if you have standard size cabinet space. Now let's look at the controls of the Vitamix and the controls of the Blendtec. The Vitamix has a very manual feel to it. If you like knobs and switches, then you're really going to like the Vitamix. It feels good, it responds. The switches respond well to pushing and pulling on them. The knob has good resistance. It's just a very satisfying piece of machinery to work with. I really enjoy it. The switches have a nice rubber coating, so it just feels and looks really nice. As for the Blendtec, you've got the display. It's a digital display. It's touchscreen. It's very high tech. It's very sleek, very modern. I really like that too. So it really comes down to personal preference. They're both very efficient. I like the preset program functions. They both have a few different functions. With the Blendtec, you're going to have a function for batters, to crush ice, to make smoothies, to make ice cream, for juicing, and for soup. And then you're going to have a metered setting, so it's just a variable, kind of a manual setting, like high to low type setting. The Vitamix has pre-programs as well. They have programs for smoothies, soups, frozen desserts, purees, and self-cleaning. I really like the self-cleaning feature. I think it works really well. I like the pre-programming on both models. They both work well, and one thing I like about them is you just set it. I can fill it up, turn it on, push the button, and while it's making my smoothie, I can put away ingredients. I can put away the knives or clean the counter or something like that, and come back and my smoothie's ready to go. Again, they both work really well. You have a more manual tactile interface here with the Vitamix, and then you have a touchscreen, very sleek interface here with the Blendtec. One more thing that we'll touch on with the containers is the blade design. With the Blendtec, you have the 2-prong blade. It's a wingtip blade. It's not very sharp. The reason is the high power motor is one of the things that helps reduce your contents to liquid form. So it relies on that 3 horsepower motor to get the job done, and it only needs to use this 2-pronged blade to do that. With the Vitamix, it has a more traditional 4-prong blade that you're used to in a blender. These are very sharp blades. Certainly be careful if you're sticking your fingers in there trying to clean it. But that's why I paired with the 2.2 horsepower motor, which is still quite strong. It's sufficient to get the work done just because of the different style in blade. Alright, one more thing we'll go over quickly before we get to actually making something in these blenders. We're going to talk a little bit about the intangibles. Customer service with both these companies is excellent. I've had reasons to work with both, and they're both very responsive. They're both very passionate about their products. They're both very customer driven, so that's a win for you and for me. The warranties are both great. They're both 7-year warranties. You can add on a couple years if you need to, but that gives you the confidence that you're investing in a blender that's going to last you a long time. without issues. The warranty repair is great. They're very responsive, so no worries there. These are just very well made blenders, and it's one of the reasons why spending as much as you would spend to get one of these is worth the investment, because of the quality that you're getting, the warranty that you're getting. You're not going to need to replace this for a long time. If you get a cheaper blender, it's probably not going to be as effective as you want it to be. If you're planning on drinking smoothies every day or wanting to make ice creams or soups, you're just going to be disappointed. And you should probably add the cost of that blender to the cost of one of these, because that's going to be what you spend to get the blender. So I would encourage you to look around for a deal if you need to get one of these blenders. You're going to be really happy with it. It's a lifetime blender from a company that really loves the product, and they're going to make sure that you have a good time using their product. With these blenders, with the Blendtec, you get this cookbook. It's got a lot of different recipes in there, from fruits to smoothies to vegetable smoothies to soups to batters for baking, the works. Anything you might want to make, there's some ideas in here to get you started. And then Vitamix also comes with the cookbook. It's pretty big. It's nice size cookbook. It's got a lot of recipes in there. The same, it's got everything from soups to ice creams to batters for baking to sauces, purees. It really will give you an idea of how many things you can do with your blender, with your Vitamix or with your Blendtec. They also both come with DVDs to help you get started. There's a couple recipes, examples on there. Somebody makes a recipe. So that's what comes in the box with these two units, with the 750 and with the Blendtec. All right, so now let's get to making our smoothie. So the smoothie we're going to make today is just a regular green smoothie. It's one that we like to drink at home a lot. Green smoothies is what got me started using a Vitamix. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't a healthy guy. It was really hard to get fruits and vegetables into my diet, especially before I was married. I generally don't eat breakfast at all. I'll eat lunch in a hurry. I would have fast food or something like that. And I started to drink something called Naked Juice. They have a green machine juice. It looks weird, tastes great. I think that's what it says on the label. And I really liked it. Felt like I was getting some fruits and vitamins, and I can handle that. I can drink something, but to eat this amount of fruits and vegetables on a plate in a day with me is just not going to happen. When I started drinking the Naked Juice, I remember my mom walking around with this big glass of green juice, and it just did not look good. It did not look appetizing at all. There's no way I was going to get near it. She tried to get me to try it. I never did. And she was making it in her Vitamix. And so when I got into the Naked Juice, I put two and two together and talked to her about it, and found out how she was making those green smoothies. And that's what got me started looking at green smoothies, and what got me started with the Vitamix. And it's changed my life. Drink a smoothie every day. I get up in the morning, I don't have time to eat breakfast, I'm generally not hungry, but I can put all these fruits and vegetables into the blender and make a nice, delicious, smooth drink. I don't have a problem drinking that in the car on the way to work, or taking a walk in the morning. And after golf, I might make a smoothie or something. For me, I feel it immediately, the energy boost. Especially replacing a McDonald's meal with a drink like this, there's obviously a big difference. So that's what we're going to make today, just one of our standard green smoothies. We make a lot of different smoothies in here, but I thought this is a good one to get started with. So in this green smoothie, we're going to put a cup of kale, we're going to put a cup of green leaf lettuce, half a cup of parsley, we're going to put a carrot and an apple and half a zucchini and a celery stick and half an orange, all in one drink. I like to eyeball my sizes. My wife measures those out more. I kind of freestyle smoothie like that. So I really like these dark green leafy vegetables. Calorie for calorie, they're the most healthiest thing you can put in your smoothie. The darker the leaves, you're getting more exposure to sun, more nutrients in there. Kale is, it's not bitter, but it has a distinct flavor. So for your hardcore green smoothie drinkers, you might be able to just drink it just like that, just pure kale, and be okay with it. I like to sweeten it up a little bit. So what I use to sweeten is this agave nectar. There's a lot of different places you can get it. You can get it on our website. You can probably get it at your grocery store. It's just a natural bull agave sweetener. It's really sweet. It doesn't take much, and it's all natural. And you can also use a different kind of sweetener like honey. But what I like about this is a very neutral flavor. My wife uses honey in her smoothies, and she loves that, and that's fine. But I can really taste the honey when I use it. So I personally like this agave nectar. So we're going to put a little bit of the agave nectar in the smoothie to sweeten it up, and then we're going to put some coconut water. A lot of smoothie recipes call for water. Coconut water's got a little bit of flavor to it, and then a lot of extra nutrients in there that I think are worth putting in. So the coconut water we'll put in there as well. We're going to put a half a cup of coconut water in there. And so let's get started. What I'm going to do, rather than make them at the same time, I'm going to make it in the Vitamix first and then the Blendtec second. So that way I want you to hear the noise difference of the two. Neither of these are super quiet. They're both probably going to wake the baby, but I will say that the newer generation Vitamixes have a quieter motor than the older generations, like the 5200. So let's go ahead and start with the Vitamix. Alright, so we got our plunger in place. We got it set to smoothie. We're ready to go. I'm just going to hit start. So that's it. That's the whole cycle with the Vitamix. You can see with the plunger it took care of that apple pretty easily. And now you like to drink out of these mason jars. So we got a nice smooth liquid pour. It's nice and smooth, no big chunks in there. That's a good smoothie. Alright, now we got the Blendtec. Go ahead and put in our coconut water. Put a half cup in there. We put in our cup of kale. And the leafy green lettuce. Put in our parsley. Put in our zucchini. Put in our carrot. Put the celery in there. And apple. I'm going to go ahead and chop the apple in half, actually. Cut the apple in half, just so we can fit everything in there easily. The orange, then the rest of the ice, and a little bit of sweetener, just a swirl of the agave nectar. Doesn't take much. Pop the lid on. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then just going to depress this smoothie button here. And then you'll see that it's going to count down about a 40-second cycle, I believe. All right. That's the Blendtec. We got another mason jar. And it's nice and smooth. Really good pour out of this Blendtec container. And we'll just try this out. It's good. There's a few more fibers in this one than the Vitamix. But blind taste test, it would be really hard to tell the difference. Both very good, both very smooth, both easily handled, really thick fruits and veggies, a lot of fibers. Just did a really good job of liquefying them. Really pleased with both of these smoothies, and I think you would be too. Well, that wraps up this video comparing Vitamix's next generation blender, the Professional Series 750 versus the Blendtec Designer Series. These are two awesome blenders. You can't go wrong if you choose the Vitamix over the Blendtec over the Vitamix. You're not going to be upset. They're both very effective at what they do. They're both high-end blenders that have a lot of power, a lot of versatility. You're going to be able to replace a lot of appliances with these blenders. They're well worth the investment. The Vitamix list is $6.89. The Blendtec list is $4.99. They're both worth it. There are other deals out there, discounts that can be found, package deals where you get an extra jar like the dry grains container with the Vitamix, the wild side jar with the Blendtec. There's a lot of accessories. Come to our website, blendersmoothies.com. We have all the latest deals, all the retailers, the prices. You can be sure you're getting the best price and the best package deals available. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website for more videos and smoothie recipes and Vitamix and Blendtec recipes. This is Mike with blendersmoothies.com. Thanks for watching.